Hi everyone! Welcome to the channel. In this video, we will be talking about the town of Rio Rico and the land of El Horton tract that the United States formally ceded to Mexico. Please remember to like and subscribe. Alright, let's get right into it. Fact 1. Treaty of Guadalupe Hidalgo. The Treaty of Guadalupe Hidalgo, signed in 1848, marked the end of the Mexican-American War and had profound implications for the territorial boundaries between the United States and Mexico. This historic treaty stipulated that the Rio Grande would serve as the boundary between the two nations, effectively transferring a vast expanse of territory from Mexico to the United States. Under the terms of the treaty, Mexico ceded a significant portion of its northern territories, including present-day California, Arizona, New Mexico, and parts of Colorado, Nevada, Utah, and Wyoming. However, a single piece of land called the El Horton tract, which originally was the north of the Rio Grande and therefore part of the United States, became south of the Rio Grande due to an unpermitted river diversion. This caused the land to be part of Mexico, and the Mexicans wasted no time setting up a small village near the land called Rio Rico and therefore started settling on the land. Alright, let's get into the next fact. Fact 2. American Rio Grande Land and Irrigation Company. The American Rio Grande Land and Irrigation Company played a pivotal, if controversial, role in the history of the Rio Grande River's course and its effect on international boundaries. In the early 1900s, the company undertook the construction of an unauthorized canal, diverting water from the Rio Grande River, primarily to facilitate irrigation and agricultural development in the region. This unauthorized canal had unintended and significant consequences, particularly with respect to the river's course. As a result of the canal's diversion of water, the Rio Grande River changed its course, shifting it. This alteration led to a change in the international boundary, and a portion of land known as the El Horton tract found itself on the Mexican side of the border. This shift brought about a complex and contentious border dispute between the United States and Mexico. The incident underscored the need for strict adherence to international agreements and border management to prevent such unintended consequences. The actions of the American Rio Grande Land and Irrigation Company highlighted the potential impact of human intervention on natural watercourses and international boundaries. Alright, let's get into the next fact. Fact 3. Treaty of 1884. The Treaty of 1884, also known as the Convention of March 1, 1884, was a pivotal agreement between the United States and Mexico. It addressed the complex issue of changes in the course of the Rio Grande River, which had led to alterations in the border between the two nations. This treaty established a significant and enduring principle, stating that only the natural and gradual changes in the Rio Grande's course would be recognized as affecting the border. In essence, the treaty recognized that the river was a dynamic and ever-changing natural feature, and it aimed to prevent arbitrary or human-induced alterations from affecting the international boundary. This agreement became crucial in resolving disputes related to border changes caused by the shifting course of the Rio Grande. The Treaty of 1884 provided a framework for maintaining the border's integrity and stability in the face of the river's natural tendencies to change over time. It remains a cornerstone in U.S.-Mexico border relations, serving as a guide for managing the border in areas where the river's course may fluctuate, ensuring that only natural alterations are acknowledged for border demarcation. However, Rio Rico isn't part of this definition and remained under Mexican control. Alright, let's get into the next fact. Fact 4. Mexican takeover. The establishment of the village of Rio Rico and the seizure of the El Horton tract by Mexicans marked a significant historical development, reflecting a complex interplay of territorial claims and the shifting loyalties of residents in the border region. The El Horton tract, initially located on the U.S. side of the border, witnessed a unique historical episode when Mexican settlers established the village of Rio Rico within its boundaries. By doing so, they effectively declared their allegiance to Mexico, submitting willingly to the jurisdiction and control of the Mexican government. This act represented a notable assertion of Mexican sovereignty and a challenge to U.S. territorial claims. This occurrence was emblematic of the fluid and often contested nature of the U.S.-Mexico border region during various periods of history. The establishment of Rio Rico and its incorporation into Mexican territory can be seen as an expression of local identity and the will of the residents to live under the jurisdiction of the Mexican government. The events surrounding the El Horton tract and the village of Rio Rico are a reminder of the historical complexity of borderlands, where national boundaries can be porous, and local populations may have their own dynamics and loyalties that do not necessarily conform to the geopolitical aspirations of larger nations. Alright, let's get into the next and final fact. Formally ceded. The Boundary Treaty of 1970, also known as the Chamizal Treaty, was a pivotal diplomatic agreement between the United States and Mexico that resolved a long-standing border dispute related to the El Horton tract. This treaty formally ceded the El Horton tract to Mexico, bringing a definitive end to the dispute. It was an extension of the earlier Chamizal Convention of 1963, which had settled most of the issues regarding the border demarcation but left the El Horton tract unresolved. Alright, that is it for the video today. Thank you so much for watching. Please remember to like and subscribe. See you next time.